Welcome back to County Connection. I'm Robert Henning, director at the Rockpile Museum, and with me again this month is Heather Rodriguez.
Yes, hi everybody.
So, Storyland's still happening.
It is, and it's been absolutely spectacular. We have had several thousand people actually come through the museum, so that's awesome. Kids are learning, it sparks imagination, families. My favorite is the little kids that have come in with their classes who ask their parents on their birthdays, can we go to the museum and see Storyland? So yes, the museum has been a great success.
Repeat visitors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much.
So we have a couple of events happening around Storyland in April.
We do.
Tell us about those.
So as a museum, a lot of what I look at as our responsibility is to be collaborative with our community partners. And so we are going to do that. We're going to do Family Connect, which is on Saturday, April 5th from 10 to 2. And we are collaborating with a few of our community partners. Gabriel Project will be there. The University of Wyoming, this is always a mouthful, the University of Wyoming Extension, Community Health and Vitality, which also known as Sarah Olson, which is easier.
Yes, that's easier.
She will be there. She'll be having she has Peter Rabbit recipe cards and seeds for people.
Nice.
Then we have the Family Resource Center. She's going to have some community activities for the kids, coloring, that kind of thing. And then Head Start, Early Head Start. So I'm excited because all of those groups cater mostly to families. And I think there's some families that may not know about those community organizations or the resources that they can get from them. So I'm excited about that.
Great. So on April 5th, families can come, they can play in Storyland, see the museum, and also connect with these organizations.
It's a home run.
Yeah, perfect fit.
Yeah.
Good. And then what I would like to be a more tasty event, but I'm told it's not real cake. Tell us about the cake.
You've been trying hard. You've been trying very hard. So on April 21st, we will have a cake decorating contest. I don't know that we've ever had one at the museum before.
Not that I know of.
So we have involved, here we go again, with another community partner, which is the 4-H organization. And they work with the kids because, of course, they compete in the fair. So what we did is we collaborated with them to say, hey, do you think there would be interest in people in the community creating cakes based off or inspired by Storyland? And they were all for it. So cakes, which are fake, can be delivered to the museum on the 18th of April. And then the contest will be the 21st. We even have legit judges. And at the same time, we'll have a cakewalk. So the kids will be able to do a cakewalk. And of course, Penny Schroeder, the other museum educator, absolutely loves cakes. She takes that very seriously. So there's great prizes for each winner in each division. And then there will be cakewalks with lovely decorated cakes too. So I think that will be very fun. It's a snow day. So it works out well for the kids to have something to do. It's 1 to 3 on April 21st.
So no one's in school that day?
Correct.
In theory?
In theory.
Yes, okay. And so the cakes for the cakewalk, those are real cakes though, right?
Yes, they are. So
can I participate?
Make sure you bring your boys so that they can walk and get a cake. It might look a little weird if you're the one doing it, but you know what? It'll be okay. That's fine.
Why not? So, everybody loves cake.
Yeah. Now your turn.
So fun.
To talk about a great event that's coming.
Yes.
A presentation.
So another organization that we partner with is the Pumpkin Buttes chapter of the Wyoming Archaeological Society. And
well done. Well done getting that all out.
This is folks in the community that enjoy learning about, studying, and participating in archaeological excavations. And so it's a small group of folks, but they do bring speakers in. And this month we're partnering on April 16th to bring Lakota historian Donovan Sprague. He is a professor currently at Sheridan College. He's going to come talk about Lakota winter counts. And winter counts are those beautiful hide paintings that you see that have different figures and events in history. And every year, one major event would be depicted on these hides. And so it's really the only kind of written or pictorial history that Native peoples would carry on for long periods of time.
And when you say long periods of time, like how many years would one of those hides be painted on?
That is a great question. I'm not for certain, but I think it's 100 plus.
Okay.
So if you look at some of the larger ones, every figure is a different year. So a lot of them go in a circle, and they start at one point and kind of circle out. Others have like a border around the edge. There were some later ones actually done on paper or canvas.
Okay.
So after they were confined to reservations, the U.S. government would give them canvas teepees.
So then they would use those. That makes sense.
Yes, and then they would use sections of those. So could be long periods of time. But Donovan will explain it more fully than I can.
And Donovan has quite the resume, so extremely knowledgeable.
Yeah, and last I talked to him, he said he had located his grandfather's winter count or great-grandfather's winter
That's
count.
amazing.
So I'm excited to hear more about that, his direct connection with that history. He is both Lakota and Cheyenne through his family line, so has a ton of knowledge. If you walk into his office at Sheridan College, every book you would ever want to read about Plains Indian history is there. Just is well read, and would be a good time if you had any questions to come and talk to him about that for sure.
He's an artist as well, correct?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's
and a
an amazing
musician, and loves
cross-section.
rock and roll. Just a
Right.
really neat guy.
Historian.
Just a really neat
He's
guy.
got-
So April 16th, 6 p.m. is the presentation at the Rockpile Museum.
Okay. And then our next big one, of course, is the Sheepherders Festival. So that's our 4th annual one. If anybody's watching that's a vendor that has to do with wool, we also do a vendor show with that. So Friday night, May 2nd, is when we start or we kick it off, and we'll be doing a sheepherders dinner. It'll be at 5:30, and there'll be details to follow. You can always look at us. We always have information on our Facebook event page, Facebook in general, Instagram. So they can go to the website. Lots of different ways to get info, but that dinner will be that night. Then the next day is when we kick off with the actual festival. Super excited for year 2.
Year 2 for you.
Yeah, well,
year 4 overall, correct?
Well, correct. I
Yep.
was meaning year 2 that Mike Miller will be trailing his sheep. So
yes.
that's it. That takes it a level up, in my opinion. He gets up that morning at 3 o'clock in the morning and trails his sheep from Ranch on Achita Road all the way back to the museum. So it's fun, and the whole town participates. We've got sheriff's officers that are blocking, have their cowboy hats on while we bring sheep. And so it was very fun last year. Wyoming Cowboy State Daily was just having a grand old time with it. People were walking along. So it's a great way to kick that off.
Yeah.
Then we're hoping to have dog demonstrations because people love to watch those dogs work. We have Basque dancers. We'll have David Rompvet, who is such an entertainer, and he plays the accordion, and he speaks almost like in poetry because, of course, he is an American poet. And he is, as you refer to him, such a treasure. And
It's a treasure.
we're having the Caminos are coming over from Buffalo, and they're gonna cook the traditional Basque lakanka sausage, which is, if you've never had it,
It's very good.
oh my goodness, it's fabulous. And so it's just a fun day. There'll be activities for the kids. There'll be vendors. There'll be a few food vendors too, but obviously, like we talked about. So
And
it's-
wagons? Will there
and
be wagons?
That's a very good
Okay.
point. I'm
Oh.
focused on all the logistics evidently, but yes, we have some sheep wagons. As far as right now, we have a couple that said they're traveling from Idaho to come down. So each
Wow.
year we get additional wagons, and they all have their own histories. So it's a wonderful, family-oriented, great experience for the 4th year at the museum.
Yeah, and so we're celebrating the sheep industry, right?
Correct.
And I think a lot of people forget that the sheep industry was and it is still here, but was a very large industry for Campbell County. So
Yeah. Actually, we were the top producer. Wyoming was in the nation
Yeah.
at one time. So
yeah, and I think Campbell County was in the top 3 of wool producers in Wyoming. So this region, Powder River Basin, certainly was important for that industry. So I always think there's a lot of cowboy events in Wyoming, but not many sheep events. There's a few that seem to be popping up around the state,
Correct, yep.
which is a good thing.
it is.
Yeah,
So
good. That's May 2nd, May 3rd. come out, have a great time. Everything is free?
Everything is free.
Everything's free, wow.
Yeah.
Except for the sausage.
The food, the food is not free. And the dinner.
No, it's too good to be free.
The dinner the night before. People have to pay to eat, so
yes. Yeah. All right. Anything else before we hit the gift shop items? The fun stuff?
Do we want to talk about what's coming at the end of May?
You can do, Brief mention.
Brief mention. This is just a teaser. We have something that I don't know that we have done in Gillette for a very long time, and that will be a native dance exhibition. So stay tuned. There'll be some great information, but I'm very, very excited about that.
Yeah, should be fantastic. So tune in next month.
That's right.
We'll have all the details.
Okay.
All right.
You brought some goodies because there are some goodies.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of new books, so I'm a little book heavy today.
That's okay.
But I did bring, of course, some Legos. We keep getting all these great Wyoming creatures. This one is a great horned owl with its wings spread. Mm-hmm. I think it's really beautiful.
And these are a challenge. My children tell me these particular sets are a challenge. So
they are challenging.
If you've got a brick builder, super tiny pieces.
Yeah, that's what I struggle with the most is my fingers don't want to work with the tiny, tiny pieces. But these owl sets, or these little sets, are really affordable. Of course, it doesn't say. But not too bad.
Because we use barcodes now.
Yeah, that's right. Other things for kids, got board books for the littles.
Yeah, we do.
So got bison babies. I think, did we get the pronghorn babies? I really like that one. This one is Hello Wyoming. It just teaches a little bit about Wyoming, of course, national parks and the wildlife.
Yeah,
coal mining there. So,
they're great presents. I think a lot of grandparents their babies are not maybe in Wyoming, but want to make sure that they have Wyoming history.
Yeah.
This is a great way to do that.
It's a good one to send it through the mail.
Yep.
We've got some national park items that I thought were really neat, and I'm sure will sell well this summer with the tourists.
Yes.
This is a National Parks Traveler's Companion. It's a journal. So as you're traveling across the West and anywhere in the United States, you can make notes about what you saw at national parks. It gives you information on the parks, places to go, things to do. Really cool book.
Yes, and that makes me think about, we actually have, I'm sure you've seen it too, in the collection, a journal of someone who wrote their passage as they went through Yellowstone and from the 20s, from the 1920s. And I'm sure that the person who wrote that, it hit me, I'm sure they never thought that we would be reading that 100 years later, but that's what can happen. I mean, write the journal. Who knows who will be reading it in 100 years?
Yeah.
So that's very cool.
Yeah, it is cool. And I'm hesitant to buy it because then it'll just make me want to go to all these places.
You should.
I should go to all these places. Same kind of thing. This is National Parks Trivia. Everybody in Gillette loves trivia. Myself and my wife, we're 2-year champions at Gillette Brewing Company. Just going to throw that out there. So don't play us.
Do you have a badge?
No. There's a certificate somewhere, I think.
Okay.
National Parks Trivia, that is $25. So it's full of great cards, great information.
That's a fun game.
This one is a new book. It's not a new book. It's new to us. Eyewitness to the Fetterman Fight. That's history right here in the Powder River Basin. But it is Lakota and Cheyenne accounts of the fight, which is really interesting.
Right.
Because they really, they won, first of all. So the winner usually gets to write the history. That's how it works.
Okay.
So check that out. And then finally,
beautiful.
Wanted to remind folks that we have a Frederick Remington exhibit. It is called Dramatic Moments. It is all of his, not all of his, some of his pencil drawings, his early drawings that were sent to periodicals. This is one of his catalogs. It is a large book, coffee table style book. It is a little pricey. It's $75. So we only, I think, have 2 of these available. It is a catalog raisonné, the 2nd edition. So if you get excited, you can find the 1st edition.
That's right. It's a beautiful book.
Yeah, and it's shrink wrapped.
I know.
I'd open it for you.
Exactly.
Great imagery inside, and really has all of his paintings as well. And so it not just the sketches that you see in the exhibit at the museum, but the beautiful paintings. So great gift. Come check that out.
Yeah.
And lots of other new books as well. The store is open when we're open, 8 to 5, Monday through Saturday.
It is. It is. And
Okay.
you can find us on Facebook, Instagram. So, yeah.
Yep, rockpilemuseum.com. You can call us 682-5723.
Nice job.
Yeah. And finally, what is the last day for Storyland? Just so everybody knows.
Yes, the last day is May 7th.
May 7th. Okay.
And then,
So
then the museum will actually be closed at least for a few days for us to go through that packing process. It's quite the exhibit, so it's going to take some time to get it back down and get it ready to ship off to the next location.
It's been fun.
It has been.
Okay. Well, come and see us at the museum, 900 West 2nd Street.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you very much, Heather.
Yeah. Thank you.